10 places my cat has slept that made no sense. I bought my cat an orthopedic memory foam cat bed. It has never once been used. Meanwhile, this shoebox, which held a pair of sneakers for exactly 4 days before becoming permanent cat property, has been slept in every single day since. If you own a cat, you already know this energy. Cats do not sleep where logic says they should sleep. They sleep wherever the vibes are correct, and the vibes are almost never correct in the places you'd expect. Today, we're counting down 10 of the most nonsensical places my cat has decided to nap, starting with the merely questionable and working our way up to the truly unexplainable. Let's get into it. Number 10. Directly on top of the laundry I just folded. Starting off relatively mild, the freshly folded laundry pile. There is no folded laundry pile in the history of this household that has survived contact with my cat for longer than about 90 seconds. It doesn't matter if it was folded 30 seconds ago and still warm from the dryer. If it's flat, soft, and briefly unattended, it is, by cat law, now a bed. Number 9. Inside the bathroom sink. Next up, a classic. The bathroom sink. Cool, curved, smooth, and shaped almost exactly like a cat-sized bowl, the sink checks a lot of boxes for a comfortable nap, at least from a cat's structural engineering perspective. From my perspective, brushing my teeth now involves negotiating real estate with a sleeping animal who has clearly filed the appropriate paperwork to be there. Number 8. On top of my keyboard, mid-sentence. Somehow, my cat has developed an internal sensor that detects the exact moment I begin typing something important and responds by immediately lying down directly across the keyboard. Not next to it, not near it, on it, fully asleep within about 8 seconds, as though this had been the plan the entire time, which, frankly, it probably was. Number 7. Wedged into a single shoe. I still don't fully understand the physics of this one. A single sneaker, adult-sized, somehow containing an entire adult cat, folded into a shape that should not be anatomically possible. Cats are famously flexible, with a skeletal structure that allows them to squeeze into remarkably tight spaces. But this one still looks less like biology and more like some kind of party trick she's been practicing in secret. Number 6. On the stairs, specifically the third step from the top. Not the top step, not the bottom step. The third step from the top, specifically every single time, positioned in the exact center of the stair so that stepping around her requires the kind of balance normally reserved for a gymnastics routine. There is no elevation advantage here. There is no obvious comfort advantage here. There is only the third step and her unwavering commitment to it. Number 5. Balanced on the narrow edge of a windowsill. Cats have an excellent sense of balance, thanks to a highly tuned inner ear and a naturally low center of gravity, which is the only real explanation for how mine can fall fully, deeply asleep on a windowsill about as wide as a paperback book, with zero apparent concern about gravity, physics, or personal safety. I have watched her nearly slide off this exact windowsill in her sleep on multiple occasions. She has never once seemed bothered by this. Number 4. In the empty bathtub. No water. No towel, no bedding of any kind, just the cold, hard, curved surface of an empty bathtub, chosen apparently for the exact same reasons as the sink. Smooth, enclosed, and shaped in a way that seems to check some deeply specific cat comfort requirement that no human bed manufacturer has ever managed to replicate on purpose. Number 3. Directly underneath a chair no one is sitting in. This one is genuinely baffling because the chair itself is completely empty and available. She has chosen instead to wedge herself into the narrow, shadowy gap directly beneath it, in a spot roughly 1/3 the size of the actual seat sitting empty a few inches above her. Cats do generally gravitate towards small, enclosed spaces that feel safe and hidden, which explains the instinct, but it does not explain why the perfectly good chair on top somehow didn't qualify. Number 2. Inside a grocery bag, handles and all. Groceries get put away in roughly 90 seconds in this house. The empty bag, left on the floor for even a moment longer than that, becomes an instant nap location, handles and all. There's real logic buried in here somewhere. The crinkly material, the enclosed shape, the slightly elevated sides. But from the outside, it mostly just looks like she's decided to take a nap inside her own personal delivery packaging. Number 1. On my chest at 3 a.m., facing my face, perfectly still. And the number 1 most nonsensical sleeping location isn't really about the location at all. It's the timing. Not during the day, when I'm awake and could actually enjoy it. Specifically, at 3 a.m., directly on my chest, facing my face, perfectly still, staring, for reasons that remain completely undocumented by cat behavior science as far as I can tell. I wake up to this at least twice a week. I have never once gotten a satisfying explanation. I have simply accepted it as one of the great unsolved mysteries of cat ownership. Bonus segment. Why do cats actually choose these spots? Quick real explanation behind all of this, since there is genuine logic buried under the chaos. Cats generally sleep an enormous amount, often somewhere between 12 and 16 hours a day. And a lot of that sleep is actually light dozing rather than deep sleep, meaning they instinctively look for spots that feel safe, slightly enclosed, and elevated or tucked away from potential threats, even in a house with zero actual threats present. Warmth plays a role too. Small enclosed spaces like sinks, boxes, and bags tend to hold body heat better than an open cat bed sitting out in a drafty room. So the sink, the shoe, the grocery bag, weird as they look to us, they're all hitting some combination of safety, warmth, and coziness that a wide open cat bed just doesn't provide in quite the same way. One small but genuinely useful health note here. Occasional weird sleeping spots are totally normal and honestly pretty entertaining. But a sudden noticeable increase in total sleep time, along with a shift towards sleeping in unusually hidden or hard to reach spots more than normal, can sometimes be a sign of pain, illness, or an older cat's general discomfort they're trying to avoid drawing attention to, since cats are naturally inclined to hide when something's wrong. A cat who's always been a weird sleeper is probably just being a cat. A cat whose sleeping habits change significantly and suddenly is worth a mention at their next vet visit. So there it is, 10 completely nonsensical sleeping spots, one very expensive, very unused cat bed, and a cat who remains fully convinced that a single sneaker is superior housing. If your own cat has claimed a sleeping spot that makes absolutely no sense, we want to hear about it in the comments. Bonus points if you also bought them an expensive bed they've never once used. And if you like this one, go check out our video on the 10 reasons cats knock things off tables, since apparently her sleep schedule and her destruction schedule are both operating on the exact same unpredictable internal logic. Subscribe for weekly pet health and behavior videos. Stay positive. See you in the next one.